And we are live. Welcome back to Core Team Hawaii's YouTube channel, our Tuesday live. This is Moving Hawaii, the YouTube channel, and on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of those things. This is the Hawaii Real Estate Podcast. And yeah, we're going to go live today and talk about should you buy? And we have Aiden here. Aiden, everyone can run numbers. Aiden likes to and is great at running numbers. And we had a conversation this week. That's what sparked it. So Aiden only found out that I was making him or asking him to go live about 10 minutes ago. But we had a conversation about a buyer who we both probably recommend does not buy, but it depends. Maybe they should if a certain thing, but we're actually real estate agents who stand to make money if you buy, and we're saying don't. Your situation, I really probably don't think so, but we'll hear you out. And of course, we'll help you either way. If in the end you're gonna you know what, Derek, Aiden, I just have faith and I'm just gonna buy. We'll do it with or without you. Well, we want you to do it with us, but we will never put ourselves in a situation where we can't sleep at night because we didn't give you the full picture and our full clear opinion on what we think of the potential for earning or breaking even at the end of your X amount of time. And so we're gonna talk a little bit about that today. As always, go to coreteamhawaii.com, scroll to the bottom of the page here, fill out that contact form. Sunday through Thursday, our assistant is ready to go, queued up during most business hours, ready to call you right back unless she's on another call. Friday and Saturday, more likely Aiden will call you, but it could be me or Mahe or Kenny. I'll just say a guy named Dean reached out to us. On Saturday, off hours the other day. Oh, it's yesterday.
Monday at like 8 or something.
Oh, just early in the morning. So assistant not on, and Aiden picked up that one. So, anyways, real estate stuff. We have Jody's gonna come in later and talk about loans and interest rates and stuff. So during that transition, I'll get to bragging about us as they switch chairs and our safe surveys and people talking about how great we are. Those are surveys that we do with our active clients who are either in escrow or super, super active. But let's talk about whether or not you should buy. Aiden, what's the situation with this person who we're thinking probably shouldn't buy?
Which one is this one again?
Oh, remember military, 18 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Just yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So am I gonna give him the just the rundown of it?
Yeah, let's just so it's a military person.
Yeah, military person. He is going to be here confirmed for 18 months, which is a year and 6 months, year and a half.
If you've been in the military, you know that when you're a new officer, they want to move you around a lot. And that's his situation.
Yeah, that's his situation. New officer. He's graduating, gonna be here 18 months, and then he's hoping to re-sign for another 3 years on Sand Island.
Hoping to,
and then hoping to stay here for 2 more years for school.
So the hope would be like 6 years total.
6 years.
But the guarantee is 18 months.
Yeah, 18 months is promised.
So there's all sorts of parameters around should you buy, right? You could ask us, well, what do you think the market's going to do? What has it done the last 18 months? Or do the next 18 months? What do you think Trump's going to do with tariff? There's so many ways to speculate, but if you want to get principle based, let's run math at, you buy at X price over 18 months, you appreciate at X percentage. So you could do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wouldn't underwrite it any higher than 6. In fact, I wouldn't even underwrite it at 6% appreciation. But we could underwrite it at 6. And investing, sometimes your primary real estate residence is not an investment. There's that could be a whole podcast and live with in and of itself.
That it isn't.
Robert Kiyosaki would say it's not an asset. So it's you can live there, you can pay for the liability, but it is not an asset. That's what Robert Kiyosaki would say. And I tend to I'm at least half of that, of that mindset as well. But
before even underwriting the numbers, getting super nuanced, time in the market beats timing the market.
Correct.
If you can just hold it for a long time, you will exit at a positive. When you start cutting down the time of how much you're going to hold it, more hopeful that you have to be that you're going to make it out. And the more things that you have to do to force that equity or force that appreciation into the home.
So yeah, let's be ridiculous. You're going to move here, you're going to buy, and then you're going to sell it the next day. You actually can. It would take at least probably 30 days, 2 weeks if you had a cash buyer. But let's say a day, a month, same thing. Should you ever do that? Well, the answer is no, you shouldn't. Or what about 2 months? Well, you should have a little better chance, but still no. 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months. At what point does the scale start to move towards now you have a reasonable chance of exiting at a profit? If I'm here less than 3 years, I probably don't. But 2 years, I'm still not buying. If I know I'm here for 2 years because I'm coming to build the rail and I'm 100% leaving in 24 months because in 24 months, I have to be living in New Hampshire to get my $1 billion inheritance or whatever the case may be. There's some definite reason I'm leaving. 24 months, I'm probably not buying, but at 36 months, I might, at 36 months, that's reasonable. At 48 months, it's probable. I probably need to buy. If I'm right now going to move to Colorado, just a state that I think about sometimes because I like it. If I'm going to be there 48 months, I buy. That's just me. I'm buying. I'm risking it for the biscuit. At 60 months, there's just not a doubt in my mind. And so anything after that, I'm buying. But at 36 months, it's still a bit of a question, but I'm probably buying. At 24 months, 30 months, at 24 months, I'm not buying. If I move to Colorado tomorrow and I'm only going to be there 2 years, I probably just rent for the 2 years. That's just where I'm at. And so what's some of the math with this person? What purchase price are they looking at?
We haven't even gotten to that point yet. There needs to be there's a property that needs to be sold, likely.
Yeah.
It won't cash flow.
Well, let's just ballpark it. Around what number you think?
I'll say 5 to 6 with a 700 HOA.
Okay, so $600,000 home. If it were to appreciate at 3% a year, which is conservative. It's conservative in that most years Hawaii does better than 3%. But on a 18-month scale, it would be arrogant or foolish to assume it's guaranteed going to do 6% or 7% or 8%.
Right. You would need to, from the day that you bought it to the day that you sold it, you would need to appreciate likely 6.5% to break even.
Well, how'd you do that? I was going to get to that next.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Yeah, tell them.
So,
there's an easy way. Pick a multiple of 10, $10, 100,000, $1 million. There's an easy way to know, well, I need to make at least this much in whatever amount of time, a year, 10 years, a day. I need to at least go up by this much because
you have closing costs on the entry, fees on the exit, and that'll equate likely to 6.5%.
Yeah. So if we're saying in 18 months, I know there's a lot of numbers, so we're trying to be super clear and simple. If we're saying in 18 months, let's just say you're going to go up 3%. It's 3%. Let's just say. Well, you guys know that real estate agent fees to get a home sold is maybe 3% on one side. So you would assume. So let me tell a story. There's a loan officer who I don't work with because he bragged to me that if I give him a military person and they're going to be here for 18 months, he'll get them to buy. He's like, I guarantee I'll get them to buy. And I said, but do you think they should buy 18 months? He's like, I'll convert anyone. I'm like, no. I said, should they? Is it good for them? Is it good for the client? Good for the human who you're earning commission off of? I should say off of, earning with, whatever. Is it good for the human? And he's like, he looked at me like, why would, like, that's irrelevant.
Why would that be of consideration?
Yeah.
To me?
Why would you, what's that got to do with me earning? You know?
Yeah.
And I won't work with that guy.
Yeah.
He said, I met a guy in the Army and I did this. He's here for 18 months and I did it. I got him to buy. Well, at my old brokerage, I went on an appointment. The old brokerage, they set appointments for us, and there's a for sale by owner. And I go to this for sale by owner appointment, and it's the guy. It's the 18-month guy. I figure it out. I'm like, wait, was your loan officer John Doe and you're Army? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you're the guy. You're the reason I won't work with that other guy. Well, he did end up breaking even. He might even made $5,000, I think, something small. But he only was able to do it because he was able to sell to another Army person for sale by owner during COVID as the rates were shifting and going down. He was able to do it for sale by owner.
Nice.
So rare. In most situations, he's either short selling or writing a check to exit his property. Now, if you have 7 dogs and 8 kids and you homeschool and you just like, Derek, I need a single family and a yard and I can't have this many mammals in Coast Guard housing or in Army housing, they won't let me. I have to buy. Well, then even for 18 months, it's a situation you found yourself in and it's just a cost of doing business for you, right? You just buy. But in most situations where you're buying as an investment because people's Instagram reels or their YouTube channel has said you should always buy in Hawaii, I want to think how time relates to appreciation. If you do the 3% a year and you do that 3 times, well, not only is that like 9, it's probably more than 9% because remember it compounds, so it's like 9 point something percent. 3 years gives you a good chance of making some money, and maybe even do more, maybe do 5% over that time each year. And that's like 15%. And now you're a military millionaire, or you're a civilian millionaire for having played the real estate monopoly game. But 18 months just isn't enough, man. You can't assume that you're going to do. So if 6 to 7% break even, you want to make some money, you can't assume you're going to do 10% in 18 months. It's irresponsible.
Yeah. Or you find and are willing and able to do work on your own on your house. Maybe the market goes up 3% in a year. And then you're able to be like, well, I've done vinyl floors before, or, I can paint, or, I can change out my cabinets or do this, and this. And because there was this other comp that sold at 6% higher than what mine I bought at, I could logically make, like, if I do this myself and I'm able to save money by doing it myself, doing it well, there's a difference between doing it and doing it well.
Yeah.
And the market goes up 3%, then boom, like you might be in a good position in 18 months. But look at yourself in the mirror. Are you that guy? Are you that girl to actually go ahead and do the work? And have you done the work? Because I just did that work. And it sucks.
So Aiden was painting, scraping popcorn ceiling. What else?
Fans, lights, a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it. There's, you think like, oh, it's, you just paint a wall. Like, if you
guys think they can paint.
Guys think they can paint, but they can't paint.
But guys can't paint.
Guys can't paint.
We're quoting Aiden's uncle, who is profoundly correct that
my uncle is like,
underestimate how hard and how time consuming. And here's the other thing. You paint this thing black, you're not as efficient and skilled as the professional who paints it black. So there's so many reasons why guys think they can paint, but they cannot paint.
Yeah, you think like, oh, as long as the paint's on the wall, it's good. But then you think, okay, well, like, is it even? Are there streaks? Because all of that, you could paint your whole house, right? And that could add value to the sales price of the house, but you do it terribly, and there's streaks everywhere, it might hinder you on the sale side.
It could. Yeah.
So,
well, and guys think they can choose paint colors.
Guys think they can choose paint colors.
But guys cannot.
Guys cannot. Guys cannot. You think.
That's the other thing. You were like, well, I painted it. I'm like, yeah, but it's
lime
burgundy,
green.
homie.
It's lime green and chili pepper red.
Yeah.
That's not. Yeah, you want to keep it neutral. You want to keep it pleasing to the eye to the most people, right? Like you could go ahead and go paint yourself a very crazy color palette, but the odds that helps you on the sales side was like, oh, I painted 2 years ago. It's like, well, yeah, but nobody wants an orange wall. The person who wants an orange wall is a lot less than someone who wants like an off-white. So being able to, one, do the work yourself, do it to a good enough quality so that you're able to reap the benefits on the sales side, can help offset the time that you need in the market. But, you have to really look at yourself and be like, am I this person? Have I done this before? And am I willing to do it? Because once you move in and you're like, oh, you got your stuff, like one, you're doing a move already, right? You don't know how much that's going to fatigue you. Are your bags going to get lost? Is there other things that's going to play into this mental of yours?
Yeah.
Like by the time that you close on this house, your bags are lost or your car's delayed. So you got to get a rental car. And now you get to this home and you're like, oh my gosh, now I got to start working on it.
Yeah.
Like if you can do it and you're like, I'll take it chunk by chunk. I bought a 2-bedroom. I only need to live in one. So I can start in one, move my stuff to the other. Boom. Great. Be very disciplined about it. Hold it for 18 months and hopefully you appreciate. Most people aren't that. And you just want to, when in doubt, just be able to hold it.
And you mentioned, so say, let's use $1 million because an easy multiple of 10 or 100. Are you buying the $1 million thing and all the comps are $1 million and you're buying it at $1 million, but you're saying, I'm going to put nicer things in it? Well, there are no comps. You're trying to become the comp in 18 months. And so in 18 months from now, and I've had this happen with appraisers actually. The velocity of the market in 2021 was such that if a thing sold January 1st, 2021, December 31st of that year, like it was 20% more. $1 million was 1.2 million. It was the craziest year in real estate ever, calendar year. But I had an appraiser. I sold one and he's like, there's no justification for your offer price. You have an offer of 1.25 million, but the last one that sold was $1.05 million.
Oh, is that the one you were like, well, here's 3 other offers?
Kaneohe,
yeah.
And I was like, so I told the guy, I said, we have 3 other offers. Look at the market. He's like, yeah, but this neighborhood. I was like, come on, bro. This neighborhood doesn't sell often. It's not our fault the neighborhood never sells, but that the velocity of Kaneohe, like you just draw a little bit bigger circle. The velocity of this market is insane. He's like, doesn't matter. And he gave us an appraisal like 200 grand lower. That was 150. It was really low.
Yeah.
And so are you buying the $1 million thing, think you're going to force appreciation? I just want to clarify what Aiden's probably more talking about is find the $930,000 thing that smells like dog pee and fix that thing up and then hit $1 million or $1.10 million or $1.20 million. Don't think because you know how to swing a hammer, you can sell for more. The math has to math on the entry. And we define, are you buying as an investor? Are you buying as a retail buyer? Because if you're going around saying, well, yeah, $1 million home for $930,000, I'll take it. It's a $930,000 home because it has termites and smells like dog pee. But it could become $1 million home. Yeah. So
you don't comp it, get to $930,000 and be like, I'm going to get it for $850,000.
Yeah.
You need it to be in disrepair to start getting lower. So much far lower on that purchase price to make it make sense. Other than that, you're just buying it what it is relative to the comp and then doing the work that needs to be done, like the floors, the paint, walls, etc. But you're also doing it yourself or with maybe a friend or you're trying to make ways to make up for that labor cost and just all costs in general.
So the question is, should you buy? We did a little math and it's one real estate agent fee, 2-3%. Another real estate agent fee, 2-3%. Those are 2 fees on the way out, typically. Another fee, title and escrow. Another fee, the loan cost, if you had one, on the way in. And so what amount of time do you need to hold the property to make up for those things, put those things behind you, and now we're just sailing forward towards appreciation, assuming the market is in a up into the right trajectory.
Mhm.
Think about time when you're buying, and 18 months is probably not enough. Could work, but the probability, it's like investing, right? I've been reading the Motley Fool, book, and he looks at risk to reward and probabilities, and so you buy stock at X dollar. What is the absolute worst that can happen? It goes to zero. So $100 goes to zero, but you get a 10 bagger, as they call it on this podcast in this community. $100 can go to 1,000. $100 could go to 100,000. The risk to reward is disproportionate, and so the chance for reward in 18 months is relatively low, and we think you shouldn't buy. But the chance for you being in a bad situation where you don't have enough money to sell, that's another thing we'd ask, right? Well, how much money do you have in the bank? Aiden, bro, I'm buying for 600. I got 6 million in the bank. If I had to take a little haircut on the way out, it'd be fine. Okay, I just want to live here. All right, we're making a different decision.
Mhm.
Aiden, I'm an E3. I got nothing. I just want to buy this place. And if I had to take a haircut on the way out, I would ruin my security clearance because I'd have to sell for a short sale or just default on my loan.
Clearance?
Yeah, you lose security clearance because your credit score goes down. It affects your security clearance.
Wow.
If I do that, my wife's going to leave me.
Dang.
And so, like, what's the risk to reward?
You might die.
Yeah, you might make 30 grand on the way out, but you also might ruin your life. So those are things we look at. Jody is standing by here, so we're gonna bring Jody in. Anything else you want to add to this before you take off? Well, I guess
guys think they can paint, but guys cannot paint.
But guys
if there's one thing you take away, guys think they can paint, but guys cannot paint.
We didn't pull it up on this one, but Aiden has a spreadsheet and a appreciation calculator that will run if you're thinking about buying versus not, or you're thinking about selling versus holding. These are things that we can run with you on our spreadsheets.
Shoots.
Guys think they can paint. What's your opinion? Oh, here's a question from Patrick Moran. Hi, Jody. Aloha. Love listening to you guys. What's your opinion on buying an investment property here versus the mainland? So Patrick, when you say here, I think you live here then. And so this is your home state and probably home island of Oahu. I think it depends. One of the first things I would put into that question is, what kind of income do you and your family have otherwise? There's 2 radiologists married to each other, have no business going and buying and self-managing $100,000 properties in Alabama. It makes 0 sense. You should do something else with your time. The $100,000 properties that are cash flowing $200 a piece in Alabama while you actively manage it make no sense. I forbid you to do it, Dr. Jane and John Doe. But if you work at McDonald's and you're trying to come up in life and play the Monopoly or the cash flow game, and you're willing to purchase a list of phone numbers and circle call Cleveland, Ohio, and find deals and wholesale or buy that property and burr it or whatever, that's a different story. You can climb up the ladder that way. So that would be my first question is, what is your living situation? What's your calendar? What's your time like? What's your family life like? And what kind of income do you otherwise have? If you have a high income, maybe you upgrade your current lifestyle. Maybe you take the home you live in, you move out of it, you keep it as a rental. You can maybe recast that loan or, put a lot of money down to get it to where it's break even or better. Keep that as a tree growing in your forest and then go buy another home, and kind of treating primary residence like investments, which is, we talked about earlier. You could argue a primary residence is not an investment, but it just depends. Yeah, I can't answer it simply. I do know that Hawaii land is scarce, Jody, and so buying here in general, I feel like it's going to be a good thing in 10 years. But and I know that Missouri land is not as scarce, you know. Also just I don't want my property to have to make it through a winter and have a furnace and things of that nature, or be prone to hurricanes and things like that. So I don't know. I'm just a little scared to buy on the mainland. And if I did, I probably want to go big. I'd want to buy like an apartment building and find a really, really good property manager. That's one thing I'll say. If you do go mainland, it starts with the property manager. If you have a bad agent on the buy side, you can get through that, whatever. But your property manager is going to be make or break for a while. And your exits. You buy, if Dr. Jane and John Doe are buying $100,000 properties, how long do they have to keep those to make sense of their exit plan, right? And I just don't think Dr. Jane and John are going to want it for that long.
Pastor followed up too.
He followed up.
Yeah.
Not smart enough to be a doctor. I'm local, bought new construction 20 years ago. We own a business. Kids graduating, paid down the house, looking to downsize. Well, yeah, that might be the thing. You downsize, but you keep the old one rather than go buy something on the mainland. You can also buy into syndications on the mainland. So you can buy where a really good investor who you have a lot of confidence in is buying 500 units, and you just put some of your money into that. That's a way to play real estate and play it with someone better than you. Like if Jody and I are gonna enter the Daytona 500, we'd have a better chance of winning if we rode passenger with Kyle Busch than actually racing. Jody might think she could actually win.
No, not racing.
Jody,
Not racing. That's maybe one of the things. One of the few.
one of the few. But if you're going to invest in real estate and play with money, it might be that you prefer someone else to do it on your behalf. So I've done it. I've had, as intelligent and skilled as I am around this topic for investing on the mainland, I've only done it with other people. So Jody, what's going on in the market?
Rates reacted to Jerome Powell's commentary.
So they went up a slight bit, but they had gone down before that. Same story as always.
Yes.
Yeah, they go down before the news. So buy the rumor, sell the news. But yeah, they go down before the actual meeting, and the meeting happens, and they tick up a little bit.
Yeah. And then they we didn't lose all the traction of it going back up. It improved a little bit today.
So what's the VA and what's the conventional rate today?
So it's pretty much like 5.625 VA.
Okay.
And then conventional didn't get that. Conventional got hit a little bit. So conventional is like 6.125.
Okay.
It did break. It was like 5.99.
5.99.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not very different.
Got it. Kenj, I'm going to save our safe surveys, our brags for the end. Nobody want to hear about how great we are. Well, we have some questions. So this is from last week.
Yeah.
808 Freedom.
Last
Week's live stream. 808 Freedom said, who can pay $4,000 or $5,000 a month in mortgage on this shoebox? Who can pay $4,000 or $5,000 a month, Jody? Because people, if you only read comments, especially on certain videos or on certain platforms, you would think the sky is falling. No one could ever buy real estate. Yet we do it every day. So who can pay $4,000 a month?
I mean, if you're, making to combined, ideally it's a combined income that helps, right? And
even if you're single, you probably shouldn't pay $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like even if you can, you probably shouldn't.
And you probably don't need to.
We don't need to. Yeah.
Yeah. But gross has to be at least 10K, about 10K a month.
Okay.
So in terms of like what your earning is
2.5 times.
2 really, but I'm just factoring in for like people that have other debt other than just their mortgage. So we do have to factor in the mortgage. I mean, the whatever existing debt you have. So if you have a $500 auto loan,
That's a killer.
Auto loans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
people
why
don't
I have a
realize.
Prius and I'm not getting a new. My son was like, "When are you getting a new car?" I'm like, "No time soon, brother."
Yeah, but you guys got the other nice car.
We do,
Yeah,
but it's just nice. We have no car payments,
yeah.
so that's nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's really helpful on a debt to income ratio. We took someone's qualifications from like 600 to 900 just in having the car paid off.
Yeah.
So using some of the down, allocating it to the car, and they're like,
1,500. How much was the car payment? I'm thinking.
the car. Well, this was FHA, but the car payment is like the car payment was like 9 or 860. Yeah, and so they were like, there's only 3 years left. You know, why would we pay it off in full when we could use the money towards the house? And I'm like, well,
You can't buy the house
because you don't want
Yeah.
you don't want to buy something for 600,000. So
Yeah.
you got to pay off the car.
Yeah. So people out there, think about it. If you finance $100,000 in a 30-year loan, and the thing, I actually had a debate with my solar guy on this. He was getting frustrated that I was asking him technical questions.
Oh,
He's like, well, it's different because it's solar. I was like, no, it's not different. Money and payments work out the same. It's amount of loan, interest rate, time amortized. Doesn't matter if it's diamonds or strawberries. Like, it's the same. But anyways, $100,000, 30-year amortization. Today is somewhere around like 600 a month.
650.
Isn't it gonna be 650?
I would,
630,
I
620.
would, yeah.
So yeah, say 625, 650, depending on your VA conventional, a few factors, but 650 a month. On a car loan, well, how do you get? I don't do auto loans, but what do you gotta borrow on a 5-year term to get to 600 a month? That's my point. Because it's usually at like 6% amortized over 60 months.
Yeah.
And so a $600 a month car loan is probably only like 30 grand.
It's not a lot.
40 grand.
It's not a lot.
So time and money for
It's less.
it's less than 30 grand. Like 25 grand.
Oh, wait. How much?
To get to 600 a month.
It's like 30K.
So you borrow 30K on a car, 600 a month. You borrow 100,000 on a house, 600 a month ish. These are rough numbers, right?
Yeah.
And so house better than car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can talk about, well, how much interest will you pay over the total term, and the 30-year mortgage, a lot of interest is paid. It's all true.
Yeah.
We'll increase earnings and put more towards principal, and if you're not going to go invest in the markets and do good things with your money, attack debt with it. But having short-term debt like car loans, I say 5 years short-term, when going to buy a house can really hinder you, really mess you up, right?
Jody, someone asked me a question that I think is a good time for you.
Yeah.
Can you rank debt from best to worst when it comes to buying a house? Like car debt versus credit card debt versus I have another loan on another house debt. Like, can you just give us a ranking maybe? Like,
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question.
So the best debt is going to be, well, this is the best and the worst debt, is something that you only owe like a couple thousand, but it was an installment loan, so the payment is like 800. Because then when you get rid of it, you're freeing up so much of your debt to income ratio.
Yeah.
So but typically the best debt is revolving trade lines, right? That are like credit cards. And the reason that that's the best debt is because it can be paid down to zero, and then there will be no impact on your debt to income ratio. But at the same time, having it and utilizing it regularly is picking up and generating a higher and maintaining a healthy credit score. So revolving debt is always good. We don't want your revolving. We don't want you to be like, yes, I finally paid off my last credit card. I'm closing them all and I'm never racking up debt again in the rest of my life because I'm so traumatized. I get it and I understand that thought process, but you got to have access to revolving debt. You need to show the algorithm that you know how to use it and you know how to pay it back and that you know how to and that you have access to it.
I was assuming the question, because you can think of that two ways. Is like there's one debt better than the other or worse than the other for building credit towards eventually purchasing a home, and then is one debt worse when you go to get pre-approved? There's kind of two different ways. Which way did they mean it?
It was like in a conversation of getting a loan for buying a house.
So
I don't know
like,
if it's a first house, second house.
so which one should they shave off and get rid of? Was that the direction?
I guess we could infer that, but like
Probably, yeah.
like rating debt, you know.
I wouldn't recommend shaving off any without talking to a lender because there's so many different strategies and there's so many different ways to spend the money. And the thing is, once you've used your liquidity to do the thing that you thought was going to be the best because you heard someone say something on XYZ live stream or whatever, that money's gone. So
it really just because it depends.
It
Talk to
depends.
someone first. However, if you're thinking about this right now and you're never gonna talk to us, you're never gonna actually do anything, go pay it off. You know, like if it's gonna be 2 years, don't pay all that interest and do it. If it's gonna be 2 years before you take any action, but you're also never gonna call us, probably start with, I mean, you could use Dave Ramsey's debt snowball. He goes in amounts. He's like, pay off the small one, then pay off the next one, then pay off the next one. He kind of disregards interest rate.
And he kind of disregards FICO score because I would definitely pay off the one with the highest credit usage first.
The highest credit usage.
Yeah. So if you
Explain
have
that.
the highest credit usage and the lowest balance. So let's say you have 3 credit cards. One has a $500 limit and a $500 balance. The other one has a $1,000 limit and a $500 balance.
Okay.
And then the other one has like a $3,000 limit and a $1,500 balance. So credit cards 2 and 3 are both at a 50% usage rate.
Mm-hmm.
And card 3, so first we would pay off card 1 because it's only 500 and it's maxed out. So that is optimal.
That looks bad.
That's bad.
Oh, okay.
And plus it's only 500.
So let me pause you. If I have $1,000 debt on a credit card and the limit is $2,000,
Yes.
50% usage.
Yes.
But if I have $1,000 debt on a card whose limit is $10,000,
Right.
the 50% usage rate looks worse on my credit.
Yes, the easy answer is yes, but still 50% usage is really good.
Okay.
So both of those don't look bad.
Oh, I see.
So
But okay. I never thought of usage rate because I use my credit card and I pay it off. I never carry a balance. Never. I never thought usage rate.
yeah, so interestingly enough,
It doesn't matter. Sorry, what percentage, what the interest rate is on those. So if you're at 100% usage rate on a card, so 500 out of 500, but the rate is only 4%.
the algorithm doesn't care.
Doesn't care. But the other one, your $500 debt on 20 grand, but the interest rate 17%. The algorithm doesn't care. Bro, it should.
I know.
Yeah.
And it might care a little bit, but it cares more about like red alert. This card is maxed out. They have no access to credit on that one card.
Yeah.
That's bad. So I'm going to ding you for that
Yeah.
in terms of like all the like up, down, and then therefore your score is a 680 or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anything below 50% and below is fabulous. So even if you had it, one is 50 and one is 30% usage only, it's like you're already winning because everything is below 50. It's not like, oh, the 51 is worse, right?
Okay.
But it's definitely usage rate that you want to pay attention to. And obviously anything like, oh, it's so painful. I have some of our buyers, younger buyers, they have only like $250 limit,
Okay. $250.
$250.
Okay.
And they literally pay it off monthly. But just give and take on the time of the month it is.
Is it because they always max it? It looks bad?
Not
Is that what you're gonna
just
say?
max it over the limit.
Oh.
So sometimes they might be at like 280, 300.
But they're paying it off. So they're on a principal like a basic level. It's like, I was told, get a credit
Right.
card, use it, pay it off. Use it,
Right.
pay it off. I'm doing a great thing.
Right.
But they aren't necessarily.
Right. And so then they're like, why? I don't get it. Like, I did everything you said, and now my score is not going up. Like, it went up a little bit, and then now it stopped again. And I'm like, well, you need to call, find out the report date. When does your institution report your balance to the credit bureau? Oh, they reported on the 15th. Okay, when is your payment due? The 20th.
I hate
Okay,
this.
so you've been maxed out and even over the limit every month on the 15th, but on the 20th it's paid in full.
Yeah.
It's kind of I don't know, unethical. I don't know the right word for it. Like, I don't know why it's designed that way,
Yeah.
but that's the way it's designed. And so you need to know when your due date is, obviously, and when you're paying it, and you need to know when they actually report the balance.
So to answer Kenji's question, there's no way to say this debt's worse than the other. Can we
It's
speak?
really hard. I mean, if you do have any credit cards that are over the limit or near maxed, that's the worst. Get rid of that.
Generally, credit cards. Generally speaking, there's nuance to this, but generally speaking, short-term debt. We talked about the term of the debt, right? So credit cards are month to month. I mean, you can carry a balance over a month, but they should not be more than a month. I would say this person's probably not buying, but if they had any sort of payday loan or tax advance
yeah.
loan, that would be even worse.
Yeah.
But that
Most of the time, those aren't reported.
really,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, if don't do that if you can avoid it. Credit card in ascending order. What would be next? Car.
Yeah.
Now we went from 1 month to 3 to 7 year debt.
Mhm.
After that would be another house,
Mhm.
just in terms of the general debt.
Or personal loans.
Oh, personal. Yeah. So people have personal loans.
Yeah.
What's the term on a personal loan typically?
Personal loans are not that great. I mean, during, the low interest rate times, you could maybe get like some cool 0 to less than 10% rate. Yeah. And they're typically 36. They're just like car loans. They're typically 36 to 60 months. Some of them are only 12 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you, what about difference between HELOC debt and a mortgage? Is it any different when you're pre-approving someone if they have $100,000 on an open HELOC
That's a great
versus
question.
$100,000 on a property?
So the answer is yes. And HELOCs can be worse in terms of qualifying. And the reason is because we have to take available credit. So let's say you have a 20K balance.
Oh,
Yeah.
But you have $1 million
Yeah.
open line.
Yeah. So now we're
Oh.
hitting for you as if you pulled everything out because you could
You
tomorrow.
could tomorrow go cocaine and strippers.
Yeah.
You
So-
seen that guy before? They're like, what are you gonna do with the lottery money? Yeah, you could tomorrow go crazy.
Yeah. So now it's like, but I only owe 20K on my HELOC, or it's like I only owe 0 on my HELOC. What do you mean?
So then those people, can they like call Bank of Hawaii or go sit with Bank of Hawaii and say, I'd like for you to reduce my HELOC limit to 20
Yeah.
grand where I'm at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it'll impact their credit score because now they're maxed out.
Oh shit. So what? They should reduce it to like 50 or
Yeah.
70 or something.
Yeah. Whatever we say that, like, okay, if we hit you for this,
Oh my god.
and I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in
Lending is so
overall debt to
annoying.
income. It's so annoying. It's the most annoying thing.
All right, Tropical Ding Dong. Bruh, there are waves. What are y'all doing? Got lickings this morning at Makaha. Oh, yeah? Rabba.
Soledad months.
Soledad monster, bruh.
Yeah.
So revolving accounts are good versus personal auto loans. But how would
Yes.
this affect my credit history due to not having these types of loans?
Not having
Not sure what you
auto
mean.
loans or not having credit cards. If you don't have a credit card, you should go get one today, right now.
How do Dave Ramsey's people buy houses?
They don't qualify very well.
He forbids them to have credit cards.
They need to go get them, and they need to build credit.
Yeah.
So I've had people that are like, Dave Ramsey, blah, 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 I have excellent credit. I pull their report and I'm like, you have no score.
Yeah.
You don't have a score. So you don't have bad credit, but guess what? You don't have excellent credit. You have no credit. So they're like, okay, so what does that mean? How much do I qualify for? I make $200,000 a year. You qualify for $0.
Wow. What if that person, Dave Ramsey, 2 years ago, they went and got a credit card, basic credit card, and they literally just buy a pack of gum every month and pay it off. That's it.
It will, then a score will be generated.
Is it good enough to buy a house?
Yeah.
Because you have a history of gum?
Yeah. I say use it for gas and groceries. Everyone needs gas and groceries. Use the card for gas and groceries.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not going to necessarily buy it. That's because that's Dave's thing is the psychology of swiping, the psychology of having to give dollars away. They've done like studies and people spend 12% less.
Yeah, I totally agree with
because
that.
they have to give away money and not just swipe a card.
Right.
But gas, you're going to buy it either way. You're not really going to increase gas usage because you have a credit card, right? Yeah.
Groceries, I mean, groceries are groceries.
Groceries are groceries. Yeah.
You know, like use it for gas and groceries, but only up to 50% usage rate in a perfect world.
I never paid attention to that. I think it's annoying because imagine your child, maybe not yours, but you teach your kid, don't ever go into debt. It's bad. Save your money. And then at 28, they come to the loan officer and they go, hey, I want to buy $1 million house and I have 500,000 saved. And guess what? Between my dad and Dave Ramsey, I never got a credit card. Look how great I am. They should be rewarded. They should be. They've been amazing.
Well, they're uneducated. And I'm not saying uneducated. I'm just saying they're uninformed.
But they did so good. They're just like on a human level. Like don't take the American credit system, but just like the global principles of resource management. They've done great.
They've done great. I would say
our system punishes them.
I would say the kid that did greater would be the one that has the 500K and has no revolving balances on their credit card, but has 5 credit cards and an 800 FICO score.
Yeah, I just think, yeah. And I think your kid and my kid are going to be fine with, but so many kids.
That's why they should teach it in school.
Oh, they should.
There should be a finance 101, which I thought they had. Like I had it.
But who's going to write that? Bureaucrats?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a normal person needs to write it.
No, yeah. Someone in an office in DC is going to write that?
Yeah, no.
They've either insider traded or they've, not. Yeah, anyways. Just rotate your expenses through the card. Tropical Ding Dong says. They're missing out on literally 2 to 3% off anything. Yeah, but Tropical Ding Dong, that's Dave's point is you are inclined to spend 12% more to then get 2% back. And that's not good math. And he has a great point.
He does. And it's true because it's just true.
People spend more because credit cards, yeah.
It's just like you're like, okay, I'm going to charge it.
Yeah.
And it's like versus.
Well, it's obviously true, or American Express wouldn't run at, I think they run at like a 60% margin. 60% profitability does not happen in business. It's just, it can't. But American Express can. It's something like that. He was, the CEO or the CFO of American Express was being pressed by like the House or the Senate or whatever. And he's like, what are your margins? He's like, around 60% or 50 or so, something crazy. It's insane in business. Patrick says on the HELOC note, so if you use a HELOC for a down payment on a second property, it would negatively affect you?
Credit?
No. Well, debt to income qualification. So you say, I have a paid off house.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to go buy another house, but I'm going to take the money out on a HELOC. That's going to negatively affect him?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to factor that payment into DTI. and then not immediate. The good news is it doesn't impact your credit immediately. So like once you draw, let's say you're drawing 100K for the purchase, obviously we're factoring in for that line itself the necessary calculation that needs to be done to make sure that you still qualify for the purchase. But then on top of that, let's say your limit was only 100 and you drew 100, that is going to decrease your score a little bit because now you're at a full usage of your HELOC.
Tropical Ding Dong he's adamant on the. So I get Alaska card and get almost 4 free flights a year in miles just because all my spending goes through the card first, and I carry zero balance ever. And Hawaiian takes Alaska miles now.
And that's smart, and that is smart. He is that. I agree with him, but you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined.
If you do that and you do not spend any more than you otherwise would,
right,
and you hack the system, you are the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
Obviously, American consumer debt, auto debt, student loan debt wouldn't be crippling and at all-time highs if people knew how to manage spending and debt. They don't generally. And so there are people like, have you heard of Graham Stephan? He's this YouTube channel. He's like this young, nerdy finance guy. And he sat with Dave Ramsey a couple of times. They had long conversations. And it's interesting. Graham is pake. He's tight with his money, super tight. But he does credit card hack because he does want, I get 2% back and I would have bought chicken anyway. And and I think Dave knows that Graham's better than everyone.
Right.
He's the exception.
Right.
And so Tropical Ding Dongs with the exception, not the rule.
Right.
Anything you want to add? We got to get out of here.
No.
Okay. Well, on the way out, I'm going to excuse Jody. I'll read some of our brags about our team real quick just because I want to acknowledge. So about Kenny, Jason A says he seems to know what he's doing. He's been a good source of information about different neighborhoods and pretty responsive whenever I reach out. He tries to understand what I want to do with my budget. We've been under those constraints. He's done a pretty good job of narrowing it down. That's actually like a modest review. Kenny's usually raving. So, but I think that's just a stylistic communication style. I'm glad Kenny was my realtor. He was extremely knowledgeable and proactive throughout the process. He made sure I understood every step and followed up quickly. If I had questions, he helped me a lot by assisting what I should buy and leveling my expectations based off of my goals. Overall, great guy, great realtor. About Aiden and I, we're flying to Hawaii on November 14th, Friday. Derek and Aiden are still very responsive as always. We've already done business with them. Jeffrey says about Aiden and I, actually spelled his name wrong, but that's good. Just in the process of taking care as far as things I discussed with Aiden and Derek. They've been excellent at communication and following up. Yeah, we're actually getting super technical with them right now. And then Tavia says Mahi and Derek have been awesome. Oh, one more for Oleg, for Aiden and Mahi. We had a really great conversation. They shared a lot of different insightful points about different locations of the island and which one I'll be looking at. So I'm pretty happy with them. All right. That's